All right, hey guys, how y'all doing? Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Y'all excuse the light. I'm going to have to work on that as regards to my ceiling fan that's shining over. But I'm going to work on that. Hope y'all are doing good. Yes, this is a tutorial regarding the 142H. I am going to be doing just a tutorial on based on it. I've had this Leslie for almost now. Well, it's actually 1 week. Yes, I purchased it. The 142H is the pretty much the brother of the 142 of the 122H. It's the short boy. The 122H is the tall boy. They're both the same schematics, specs, and all that. The only difference with it is that it is it's a short boy versus the 122 being a tall boy. All right. So, that being said, that's definitely, you can definitely, you will hear the one thing I will say with the short cabinet, with the 142H, it punches a lot. It does give a lot of bite, as well. Now with the 122H being that it's a full cabinet, it has that has the, um, a more full range as in regards more body because it's the taller cabinet based on the dimensions. But I have to say this 142H is very nice. It sounds very rich on my C2 and also even on my Viscount when I use my Viscount as well. Sounds very good. Um, What's my views and thoughts regarding the 142H? I'll get to that shortly. Pretty much for those who wants to know what the 142H or the 122H, it's a new Leslie that Hammond came out with that has um, the capability of it has a hybrid amp that has the capability of doing the 122 circuit and the 147 at the same time. So it's two amps in one. It's a hybrid amp. Um, it's very technical explaining it, but what they did was that they had two amps in one, and then also you could switch it from 122. Then you can switch it to the off position, and then 147, which I'll tell you all about. Um, okay, so pretty much currently I'm on the 122 right now. I'm on my C2. My C2 is wired for an 11 pin. Um, Now this Leslie is an 11 pin. It also has a 5 DIN pin to 6 pin out to to the Hammond. But there's an adapter you need. It's a 5 pin DIN. So for your organs like vintage organs, but any organs that's wired from the 11 pin or the newer organs, clone wheel organs like the XK5, the Viscount, any you know modern organ that's 11 pin, output. Um, this less is compatible. It's just a straight plug in, plug out via 11 pin. Um, is it nice? Yes. What's my ratings on this? It's a 10 out of 10. I have a vintage. Currently now I have a Klein's 3300 behind me that's hooked to the Viscount, and I have um, I do have my original cabinet, my 122, 147 cabinet. I have a 122 T rectified and Rebellion, my Rebellion amp. I just purchased another one, so it sounds very good. Compare it with the vintage cabinet. It does matches it has a very nice tone, rich tone, and I have to say the driver is very nice. It's a very crispy driver. They imitated it very well off the old Jensen drivers, V21. So I'm gonna play real quick and let you hear what it sounds like going through my C2. Okay. Someone asked me, is the Leslie 142, which is Mr. Timothy, um, you hear a small hum, and I think that's normal. It's not loud. It's not a loud hum. Now, I do know my organ, I need to get something in my amp to be checked because it's a slight, in my organ, the amp is a bit louder than what it's supposed to be. And I think I turned the gain up a bit too much on the organ. But on the Leslie, no, you will hear a silent hum, like it's a hum, but it's not loud. It's not loud. You normally hear it, yeah. But it's not as loud. It's just, you'd have to listen for it compared to all the Leslies. Yeah, no. It's quiet. It's very quiet. It's quiet than some other amps that I heard. Very quiet. Yeah, yeah, it's very quiet. Yeah, I don't have any issues with mines, but I do know in the organ of my C2, because see, when I plug it on my Viscount, it doesn't make an extra hum. There's an extra hum. If I put it on normal on the C2, then you hear a hum. I think it's just something I need to check with my organ, but it's not the Leslie. But the Leslie is quiet. It's very quiet. With my Viscount, and as I said, how I know because I tested with my Viscount, and it's very quiet. But you'll hear that. All right. Now, so what you heard earlier, that was on the 122. I did tweak the speeds, and with the 142H and the 122H series, the Heritage series, you have the capabilities of tweaking the speeds. Okay, of how to adjust your ramp up and ramp down and all that type of stuff, and also the speeds. And I think it's like the 3300, but it got knobs this time, so you don't have to use a screw or anything to turn anything. And I think that's nice, comparing, and I think it's better for some people who are not tech savvy, and they'll probably mess something up. What I do like with that also, they have the Leslie logo that is across, that's on it, so it covers it. So if someone saw it and I didn't say anything, you wouldn't really know unless you know how the unless it's someone who knows the 142H, and they'll be like, oh, okay, I see it. Was just curious. I heard a review that said it was a little noisy, but it sounds great. Yeah, and you could tell on the live, you would hear it, but it's not. A matter of fact, when I take off my headphones, it's quiet. It's really quiet. Now I will put this out here. I did a slight modification. Well, on the 142H, for my preferences. Now, I'm not saying y'all to do it, but it's fine. It sounds good to me. I took my deflectors off my 142H. And I did a tube comparison with my technician, with the help of my technician as well. We were testing out tubes, so I like the Softec tubes. Now, the tubes that comes with the 142H is the Tung Sol reissued tubes, which I prefer the Softec or the JJ6550s, or KT88s. But I did use the Softec in this case, and it did open up the 142H, but I had to say, out of the box, the 142H sounds really good. I am going to be doing more tweaks and more tutorials on how to the position and the miking. Currently, as you see, all the mics are, I turned it on this side, so you can, you're hearing the wood side along with that ramp up, and then I'm gonna open the panels up, okay? For those who know me on Facebook, they have seen some of the couple videos of me doing it, and it sounds really good. It sounds really, really good. It's a very good, nice organ, nice Leslie. So what I'm going to do right now, I am going to switch it over to the 147. Let y'all hear it. Now, for those who are using the 142H or the 122H, when you're switching it, if it's on the 122 is normally on the right, and the 147 is on the left. When you're switching it, make sure, and also I need to put this out here. If your organ is wired for 11 pin, you switch. There's an 11 pin remote switch that you need to turn on. Okay, so when you turn the organ on and you have the 122 on or 147 on, it will come on just like a regular Leslie. But if it's not on, then you have to turn it on mechanical to get it on. Okay. Also, when you turn it off, make sure you switch the main switch from 122 to off. Off is normally in the middle, so you have 122 off 147. So now what you're going to do, I'm about to switch it. Okay, somebody says Timothy again. How do you have the Leslie hooked up to your organ connected 11 connector kit? Okay, so as I was saying earlier before you came in the chat, my organ is actually really my organ C2. Shout out to Mr. Marcus Spears from Spearhead Music. He's my main technician. So I wanted my organ, this is my current C2 that you're looking at. I wanted my organ to be wired both 11 and 6 pin. So really my organ is wired for 6 and 11 pin. I can wire this organ up to 5 leses currently right now by using a Booker Labs kit, or with the Fusion amp kit. Once I have 11 pin power from that side, then I have the 122 and all that type of stuff. So, but anyways, not to be carried away, but I said I had this organ wired to my own liking because I wanted to use different Leslies and all that type of stuff, right? I do have a white cable also where I can plug my 3300 and the 142H at the same time. But with the 11 pin, as I said, and I'm trying not to stray away from the point from your question. Yes, it is wired for an 11 pin, so everything is coming off one switch. You only need one switch. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Trek, Mr. Mike Smokes from Trek. He gave us the instructions. You only need one switch where it wires. He can send you the parts. You can order the parts from Mr. Trek, and you should be good. So I have a 3-piece speed position switch. So earlier in the stream, you might probably hear the Leslie going to off effect, or it does that. Also, I meant to say about that, there's another switch on the back of it. I only just showed you all the front part, but I'll do the next part around the back in the next tutorial so y'all can see what it looks like. It has the a capability where you can assign it where it can be to stop and fast if you had a 2-speed position switch, or I think it's stop and slow or something like that. Yeah. Just like for jazz players or whatever not. Okay. All right. So what I'm currently going to do now, I'm going to turn it off and switch it to the 147. Okay. Let y'all hear it because I was currently on the 122. And if you have any other questions, guys, for those who are coming in, please come into the chat. All right. Give me 1 second. So, for those who are coming in, I'm going to switch it to the 147. So I turn it off first. Make sure you turn it off. And then, from that side, when you turn it off, then you switch it to 147. Now, with the 147, you hear a slight hum, a little bit, not louder, but a slight bit louder, but it's not loud. You have to listen to it, like really listen to it. All right. Let me see what we got going on here. And excuse my mic stand. I have an old mic stand. I'm trying to get a new one and stuff. All right. So I'm gonna play something through the 147. Let you hear it, what it sounds like. All right. A lot of questions are coming in. All right, let me use this here real quick. Give me a second here. There we go. That's better. All right, so let me see what the questions are saying. The questions, a lot of questions coming, a lot of comments coming. That's good. All right, so let me start. Let's stop for a minute. I start playing so y'all can hear it. All right, so hey Hammond boy Bennett, what's up, bro? Um, the organ sounds heavenly warm. Yeah, it does. It sounds good. Warm and smooth. Now, if you notice, Timothy Lee asked the question, how would you compare it to vintage 145? Yes, it does. It's very similar. It does have the characteristics, and that's what I'm going to write now so y'all can hear it. Y'all can see what I'm talking about. It has the characteristics of a 147 amp. With a 147 amp, it is brighter. It is very bright. It is very. It can get distorted with a 147 vintage 147. And it does have that, and it gets gritty. When I was on the 122 before, it was a bit warmer. And a little bit tamer, but on the highs, when you're pulling out the drawbars, it get really gritty and bright, and that's the character with a 147 amp versus a 122. Also with a 147, which any technicians who are listening, they know where I'm coming from with this. It's an on balance signal versus with the 122 is being balanced. With a 122, if you notice when I was flipping the switch, it had a slight delay. Versus with the 147, it was, simultaneous. It was just right. It was instant. I'm sorry, and so forth. So that's why I like with this, with how Hammond build their the Heritage series. You can switch it, and that's amazing. You can switch between the 122 147 capability, and see now this is where things get very technical, like guys for like me that likes to tweak my organs, because I have another kit that's coming for my organ, which I'll let y'all see how that works, regarding the EQing and all that. With a darker organ like this, with the C2, because C2s are wax caps. When you have a darker tone organ, it's bright. My C2 can get bright now, but it's more for darker tone because this is 1950s. C2. When you have an organ in that range or in that era, sometimes it's good to brighten it up with a 147. As well, you can't go wrong with a 122, but that 147 helps to brighten it up. Now, I was really not a fan of the 147s because they just sounded too distorted. But my good technician, Marcus Spears, he showed me some stuff and how he rebuilds them. And when that's the thing I like with this here. It has a nice, clean, new age but vintage tone. I see that's what I appreciate with this Leslie in the gospel church. I can take this is a convocation recording Leslie ready. I can take this out and I don't have to worry about any hums versus a vintage Hammond versus the vintage Leslies. Vintage Leslies, they have a microphone pickup with them old AC motors. So if you have mics like what I got right now with the two SM57s on top and the Beta 52, if those pick up the mic, motors pick up their mics, you're gonna be, you can hear those humming motor noise. Now you can rebuild the motors as well, but it's still gonna pick it up. But with these motors, these are DC motors. Okay, that's normally in the 3300. So it has a lot of capabilities. And when I say I approve this Leslie here, this is a very, very hybrid Leslie. Very hybrid. As I said, I only did two. Really didn't have to do nothing to the Leslie to make it sound better than what it is, because out of the box it sounds very good. I just, as I said, comparing Caprice. How you doing? Do you sell Leslie speaker things? How can I get one? Oh, Caprice, never mind. I ain't gonna even start with you. You know better. But what I'm saying is, with this Leslie speaker here, you can do a lot of stuff. Let's not even mention about the rise and fall time of each rotor, like the 3300 that I have behind me. but you have it at the knob. It's very tweakable. It's very tweakable to your, I can make this Leslie rise and fall time sound like a Leslie without scrim cloth, which is the thing that covers the rotor. Scrim cloth helps a lot with the aerodynamics and the speed of and how many times it takes to rise or fall off that speed. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to, let me see if I can play something real quick. I'm gonna put my track on and see something here. But it sounds really nice. Really, this is a very nice gospel tone. And I noticed with the Leslie 142H, the Heritage Series, that driver, it's very clean and it's not honky. It's not a honky sounding Leslie like the XBs. I know they have modified the XBs with the different using plywood. And speaking about plywood, this is a lumbercore wood. So now you can tell the sound is definitely richer versus the 122A that has that slight honk to it, especially when you touch certain frequencies. But when you touch frequencies on this, you don't hear that honk and you don't hear that electronic sound. And yes, this is a tube amp and also transistor amp for the tube amp is for the both Leslie's, but based on what I'm getting to understand based on the diagram, I think it says with the 122s go through the tubes, go through all that, and then with the 147 is a transistor, then it goes through the tubes and so forth. So it's very technical of how, let me see what Caprice Timothy said. Have you played that 142H through the Viscount? I've got a Viscount, but haven't decided a Leslie yet. Yes, Timothy, I have. And I will say, let's talk about the spin tone. And I have to say, for right now, the two hybrid speakers, apart from the 3300, of course, but that spin tone 700 for the Viscount sounds very, very good. And it got a lot of bass and it got the rise and fall time. You can tweak it. But the 142H, yes, you cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong with this Leslie. But both speakers are very good. I will be doing a tutorial with that as well, with the 142H and how they, the characteristics and the differences and all that. But the 142H sounds very good. I will be doing a tutorial with this Leslie 142H going to with the Viscount, and also a spin tone 700 with the Viscount. But currently this 3300 is going to the Viscount. Yeah. So yeah, it's very good. You can't go wrong with the 142H, and you can't go wrong with a spin tone 700. You can't go wrong with a 3300. So, but yeah, the spin tone. I mean the Leslie 142H. I'm sorry. It's very nice. It's very, very nice. Yeah. So, all right. So let me get back on this and start playing. Let's see what I can do here. And we're currently on the 147 for those who are asking. Those who are coming in the live stream. You're welcome. All right, so I was just doing a little church stuff. Y'all excuse me, I got a little rusty with my making some mistakes earlier, but but I just want y'all to hear what it sounds like though. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna play something else, and then I think I'm gonna end the stream after this. But I'm gonna play something else that we probably know, something particular that y'all know, and but it's nice. This Leslie is very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. All right, so I'm gonna play something else. I'm still on the 147, and we should be good. All right. right, guys. So you heard this is the first official tutorial of the 142H. And as I said, like, share, subscribe. Um, for those who are coming in, and if you have a Viscount or you have questions about the Viscount, you can hit me up. I do sell my settings as well. For those who are looking for any organs, and so just hit me up. I'm also a Viscount dealer as well. So again, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for coming. I do appreciate y'all supporting. Will there be more tutorials on the 142H? Yes, I will be doing more tutorials as regards to that. So, yeah, the 142H is really nice, and yeah, I will be at I think my next tutorial is gonna be it with the Viscount, so 261. All right, so again, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much.